the World Telecommunication Day and Information Society Day. It is called WTISD. This WTISD has been celebrated annually every year on 17th May since 1969 to mark the founding of ITU, International Telecommunication Union, and signing of the first International Telegraph Convention in 1865. The COVID-19 crisis has not only highlighted the critical role of information and communication technologies for the continued functioning of societies, but has also brought to start the digital inequalities between and within the countries. ITU members have stepped up and engaged in activities that has proven essential in saving lives uh, and sustaining economies. They also demonstrated their remarkable resilience in the face of challenging times. At the same time, the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the urgency of accelerating the digital transformation and advancing the goals of targets of the Connect 2030 agenda to leave one behind. We at IIT headquarters, we at our IIT Hyderabad Center celebrating this event every year on this day with the expert lecturers by even by eminent personalities in the telecommunication field to share the importance of digital technologies in the telecommunication engineering. So now I would like to read our IETE President, Professor J.W. Bakal. Now I'd like to read our IETE President, Professor J.W. Bakal message on World Telecommunication Day event. World Telecommunication and Information Society Day marks the foundation of ITU on 17th May 1865, when the first International Telegraph Convention was signed in Paris. This day is celebrated by IETE every year at its headquarters and 63 centers across the country by organizing lectures from eminent experts and scientists on the theme selected by International Telecommunication Union, ITU. The theme chosen for this year is Accelerating Digital Transformation in Challenging Times. However, this year, due to the current circumstances caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, we will be celebrating this day via digital mode. Lectures from eminent experts on the theme may be uploaded and available on our official website. The unprecedented social and economic crisis caused by COVID-19 pandemic has put a spotlight on the role of digital technology in providing relief for the millions around the world, supporting businesses and protecting jobs and livelihoods. The pandemic helped to accelerate the digital transformation and created a landscape that will continue to encourage innovation and technological adoption moving forward. As businesses begin to better understand the capabilities of these types of modern technology, they will also begin to understand the opportunities that lie before them even after the pandemic is over. I believe the deliberations all over the world on this World Telecommunication and Information Society Day will explore the most popular and exciting applications of digital transformation in various sectors and assess the impact of these changes on mankind and businesses. Thank you. Professor J.W. Bakal, President, IET, New Delhi. Thank you once again for joining this event. Once again, thank all the members, governing council members, faculty, and the DC members from Hyderabad, Dr. Nirendran Prasad, Hanuman Chaudhary sir, expert, today's expert, Dayanand sir, and all the people who have joined, the respectable members who have joined for the event and come forward to make this event a success. Thank you once again. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ganeshwara Garu, for the reading the President's message today. And also, now I request our Honorary Secretary, Nuli Namoshivai, to tell us about Dr. T.H. Chaudhary's endowment lecture. Namoshivai Garu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I welcome all of you for this today's 16th Dr. T.H. Chaudhary Endowment Lecture, CTLMS Endowment Lecture, and also World Telecom Day. And now I want to brief about Dr. T.H. Chaudhary CTMS Endowment Lecture. Dr. T.H. Chaudhary held executive, managerial, and directorial positions, General Manager, Deputy Director General in the Departments of Information and Broadcasting and Telecommunication of Government of India. Dr. Chaudhary was Information Technology Advisor in the rank of Minister of State of Government of AP. This endowment lecture was instituted by IETE in 2005. So far, we are conducted about 16 endowment lectures. Just I want to brief about all these endowment lectures. All these lectures we are conducting on World Telecom Day, World Telecom and Communication Technology Day on 17th May. In 2005, 17th May, first lecture was conducted by Sri R. Ramaraju, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of SIFI. And in 2006, 17th May, by Sri Pradeep Baisal, former Chairman Troy, New Delhi. And again in 2007, by Professor P.V. Indrasen, former Director, IIT Chennai, Kanpur and Delhi, and past President of IETE. During 2008, by Dr. Ashok V. Desai, Consultant Editor of Telegraph, Calcutta, Daily, and a columnist in Business World magazine. And in 2009, by Dr. S.D. Saxena, former Director, BSNL Board of Directors, New Delhi, on transforming a government department. During 2010, by Dr. J.S. Sharma, IAS retired, Chairman, Troy, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, on better city, better life, and better family with ICTs on the topic. During 2011, by Sri R. Chandrasekhar, IAS Chairman, Telecom Commissioner and Secretary, DOT, on the new National Telecom Policy and better rural life with ICTs. During 2012, by Sri T.V. Ramachandran, former Director General of COAI and now Head Regulation and Publicity Policy, Vodafone, on Indian rural life with ICTs. During 2013, by Dr. B.V. Mohan Reddy, Chairman and Managing Director of Infotech Enterprises Limited, Hyderabad, on ICTs and improving road safety. During 2014, by Sri N. Vithal, IAS retired, former Chairman, Telecom Commission and Secretary, DOT, on the course of telecom liberalization and tasks ahead. During 2015, by Dr. J. Satyanarayana, IAS retired, IT Advisor, Government of Andhra Pradesh, and former Secretary, DEIT, Government of India, on Digital India Smart Cities. During 2017, by Dr. J. Satyanarayana, IAS retired, IT Advisor, Government of Andhra Pradesh, and former Secretary, DEIT, Government of India, on ICT Entrepreneurship for Social Impact. So during 2018, by Dr. CSR Prabhu, former Director General, National Informatics Center, Government of India, on artificial intelligence in service of mankind. During 2018 and 2019, by Sri Debashish Ghosh, Executive Vice President, Tata Consultancy Services, New Delhi, on digitalization of the operations of India Post. And during last year, that is May 17th, 2020, by Ms. Lena S. Bukil, NASA, Honeywell, the educator, space advocate, a scientist, enthusiast, and hardcore science communicator, on Connect 2030 ICTs for the Sustainable Development Goals. So these are the various lectures we are conducted so far. Now we are conducting 16th lecture of Dr. T.H. Chaudhary CTMS Endowment Lecture on the theme of accelerating digital transformation in challenging times. I also welcome all of you once again for this 16th Dr. T.H. Chaudhary Endowment Lecture. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Nuli Namashiva Garu. Now I request our Executive Council member, Srimati Tuti Sandhya, to introduce today's chief guest, Dr. T.H. Chaudhary.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, one and all. So it's my pleasure to read out the profile of Dr. T.H. Chaudhary Garu. So Dr. T.H. Chaudhary Garu, Padma Shri awardee, born in 1931 on 18th October. Sir is Director, Center for Telecom Management and Studies, Hyderabad, and Chairman, Prajna Bharati, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, Convener for Bharatiya Dharma Raksha Samaikya, and Fellow of Tata Consultancy Services. So Dr. T.H. Chaudhary, sir, studied in Loyola College, Chennai, and College of Engineering, Delhi, Chennai. Sir holds a bachelor degree in telecommunication in 1952. Sir held executive, managerial, and directorial positions like General Manager, Deputy Director General in the departments of Information and Broadcasting and Telecommunications of Government of India. Sir was the founding chairman and managing director of India's Overseas Communication Corporation, Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited, VSNL. Sir was governor, Intelsat, Washington, and executive director, INMSat, London. Sir was senior expert of the International Telecommunications Union, ITU, in Guyana and Yemen, and was engaged by CIDA Canada for writing the Green Paper for restructuring of telecoms in South Africa and for drafting information and communication policy in Nepal. And Sir was a member of the Prime Minister of India's National Task Force on Information Technology and Software in 1998 to 1999. In these several capacities, Sir traveled 75 times to above 80 countries, including the former USSR and the People's Republic of China. Sir is Distinguished Fellow of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, India, and its past president. Dr. Chaudhary was Information Technology Advisor in the rank of Minister of State to the Government of Andhra Pradesh, mentoring the state's extensive programs for e-governance, Government of Citizen GZC services like e-Seva, establishment of internet, kiosks, computer education in schools and colleges, and broadband applications. Dr. Chaudhary was Fellow of Styan Computer Services from 1999 to 2009 and a Fellow of Tata Consultancy Service since 1990. Sir is the founding director in 1988 of the Center for Telecom Management and Studies India, an ICT think tank and intellectual campaigner for liberalization of India's telecommunications and for extensive deployment of information and communication technologies in government and mass use for the information of society. And Sir is the chairman of governing body of Bangalore College of Information and Technology, BPCIT in Hyderabad since the year 2000. And Sir is the chairman of governing body of Vignan Sala College, Vadmandu, Guntur, and Danula Engineering College, Vijayawada since its founding. And Sir is chairman of Prajna Bharati Intellect India, a think tank and platform for intellectuals in the two Telugu states for deliberations on socio-political, economical, educational, and developmental issues confronting India. Sir is author of several books on telecommunication, information technology, Indian culture and politics, and editor member, board of editors of several journals, national and international, and in telecommunication and information technology. Example, Info and Telecommunications Policy, both from the UK. Sir's teaching experiences, he was visiting faculty in a number of universities in India, USA, Denmark, and China. Sir speaks on All India Radio, appears on Doordarshan and many Telugu and English TV channels discussing current affairs. While in telecoms, Sir established regional telecom training centers, RTTCs, in Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, and even as general manager was taking classes for the engineer recruits. Sir is an invited speaker in various engineering colleges and business management institutions on a variety of topics. And to focus on the journals, Sir has been editing and publishing monthly journals, ICTs, and Society of the Center for Telecommunication Management Studies from 1992 to 2014. Sir writes on socio-political affairs, Indian history, culture, Bharatiya scientific heritage, current problems of India, secularism, etc. Sir edits two monthly journals called Bharatiya Prajna since 1997, Secularism Combats since May 2003, and a columnist for 6 journals in English and Telugu, South Asia Politics, Freedom First, Hindu Voice, Telugu Vidyarthi, Jagati, and Kamma Vaibhav. He is on the editorial board of international journal Info Publishers from UK. Sir is currently engaged in the movement of liberation of Hindu temples from government management and energize them for defense, propagation, and promotion of Hindu Dharma through Manava Seva and Dharma Prabodh. Sir writes for national and international newspapers and professional journals. And to mention few honors received by Sir, Sir was elected President of College of Engineering Gindi Students Association, even while known as Communist in 1951. Sir was elected as Distinguished Fellow DF of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers (IETE) in 1985, and as its president in 1999. Sir received LV Ramaya Award in 1989 for distinguished service to society through telecoms. And Sir was conferred a doctorate honoris causa by the Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad in 1999 for distinguished service to engineering, education, and IT services. And Sir was one of the eminent 5 engineering personalities who were felicitated by the Institution of Engineers, India, as its 15th Indian Engineering Congress on 19 December 2000 in Hyderabad. Sir is the recipient of Pratibha Puraskar Award from Sanatana Dharma Charitable Trust, Bhimunipatnam, AP in the year 2011. Sir is fellow of Tata Consultancy Service, the number 1 IT company of India since 1990, and director of a number of telecom IT companies. And Sir is recipient of honors, Praskaras from several society, literary, and spiritual societies. Sir received Navbharat Banks Award for Distinguished Social Service in 2016. And Sir received India's prestigious award Padma Shri on 26 January 2017. The Institution of Electronics and Communication conferred Lifetime Achievement Award in 2018. Sir received the Lifetime Achievement Award from Hyderabad Software Exports Association in 2019. And Sir received the Dr. Y. Naidamma Memorial Award in 2019. So thank you so much, Sir. It's really my privilege and honor to read a brief profile. So with this brief profile, I hand over back to Sangamarkar, Sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandhya, for introducing today's our guest of honor, Dr. Hanuman Chaudhary. I could understand today whatever communication age is there, it is because of him. His contribution is very, very important. Some 25 years, we recollect that communication infrastructure was very, very poor. And perhaps he has contributed a lot with his planning and all those things. Now we would like to know more about it through him. Sir, I request Dr. Hanuman Chaudhary to give your address, sir.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
It's a pleasure to talk to my colleagues in Andhra Pradesh and elsewhere. Mankind has progressed from a farming society, an agricultural society, to industrial society, and is now in the process of transforming itself into a knowledge society. And for knowledge, information is important, and information from everyone to anyone and anyone to everyone at all times from anywhere in the globe. Now, people with a vision have contributed to the transformation of so many processes, accelerating them. Today's topic, that in these challenging times, how can digitalization be accelerated? Thomas Alva Edison, what is important is a great vision. In Sanskrit, they are called Mahavakyas. When he invented the light bulb and the electricity, transmission and generation and transmission, he said, we will make electricity so cheap that only the rich can afford to burn candles, as they do in the 5-star hospitals. In 1962, Telstar, the first communication satellite in the equatorial orbit, 36,500 kilometers up above the world. So high in the sky, it was launched. It could see 1/3 of the surface of Earth, and 3 such ones could see and help communication from any person at any time from anywhere to anywhere else. In 1965, the chairman, Frederick Capel, of the world's largest telephone company, AT&T, American Telegraph and Telegraph Corporation, in his address to the shareholders of that company, who were distributed all over America, this was in 1965, he said, I am looking forward to a time when every person, any person who is born in the world, whether in Africa or in Asia or in Latin America, will not have a name. That is optional, but he will have a telephone number. Every person to have a telephone number. What was the vision? In 1965, the American AT&T company's chairman, that was his vision. Now, how will such a vision be realized? That is most important. That is the process of spreading telecommunications everywhere. In our country, for long, we had a situation. The first telephone exchange in India was established in 1884 in Simla. It was an automatic exchange. In 1994, that is 110 years after the establishment of the first telephone exchange in India, for the 100 crore population then, we had 1 crore telephones. Only one telephone per 100 people. At that time, the per capita income was rupees 10,000 per year. And the telephone cost for 1 year's service was also 10,000 rupees. That's why not more than 1% of the people and companies could afford a telephone. Now, what was the situation? One, apply, no reply. And in order to cut off the demand, instead of supplying, meeting the demand, the monopoly telecommunication department of Telecom, DOT, went on increasing prices. For example, an ordinary trunk call used to be, say, X, and lightning also introduced at 8 times the price. On mobile telephone, one had to pay 3,000 rupees, but wait for some time. It was increased to 5,000 rupees and finally to 40,000 rupees. So instead of meeting the demand, because the investment was not sufficient, we had this telephone starvation. How could that be removed? How could that be overcome? That was what motivated me from 1965 onwards, when I first wrote the article, risking my job as an assistant chief engineer in the Department of Telecommunications. In the Hindustan Times, in the editorial page, the hidden tax on telephones. That is, in order to meet the deficits in the postal department, the telephone department was increasing the prices and not enough was left for investment so that the waiting list could be removed. So this, at that time, when the AT&T chairman expressed his vision and the telecommunication satellites were going up into the equatorial orbit, I said, we must have हाथ में telephone, गांव में internet. Number one, this is my vision. Second, people should communicate for work. Communicate for work. Only commute for pleasure. And I gave the example that the energy contained in 1 teaspoon of petrol can power a telephone conversation over 40 kilometers for 15 minutes. That was Colaba in Bombay to Thane in the northern portion of Bombay. So commute for pleasure, communicate for work. How can this be done when there are 45 crores of people in the country who are workmen in some profession or the other? Now, if all of them have to afford telephones, there must be new technologies. New technologies will bring the cost and improve the facility. Competition will reduce the price. Cost will be reduced. New services will come by introducing new technologies like cellular mobile telephony, so that anybody can communicate from anywhere on the global telecommunication network, which has also come in the shape of the internet. Tim Berners-Lee, a mathematician born in England, working in CERN, the Central Institute for Research in Zurich, Switzerland, he invented in 1991 the World Wide Web. All information, like in voice or in writing or data or graphics or maps, everything could be electronified, stored in World Wide Webs, accessed through the worldwide telecommunication network. All the knowledge that humanity has created in the thousands of years of its existence on this planet, all that is committed to this World Wide Web in electronic form, and any person equipped with an appropriate instrument like the smart telephone can access and have that knowledge and information. Now, man is endowed with intelligence, which is limited in some people, very high in some other people, and if it is to be augmented, that is by artificial intelligence. Even the machines can be made to learn and to think and to guide through that artificial intelligence. So, in the process of evolution from birds to animals to human beings, and from human beings to divine human beings, we are ordinary human beings. Aurobindo has envisaged evolution does not stop with this man. Man will become Superman. He will become a divine man. That means with the knowledge and information and spirituality. All this is enabled by the worldwide telecommunication network. So in India, what did we do? By public education and agitation among policy makers, three great people, P.V. Narasimha Rao, in 1994, enunciated the first national telecom policy, NTP 1994. What was the aim? That everybody in India should have a telephone on demand. We are having that now. The Department of Telecommunications, which was deprived of its monopoly, put such bad conditions for the private telephone companies, and they were about to collapse. At that time, Sri Vajpayee ji, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the Prime Minister, enunciated the National Telecom Policy in 1999. With that, he removed every distortions in the policy, which restricted the private companies very badly, and he also corporatized the DOT's services into Bharat Sanchar Nigam, effective from 2nd October year 2000 onwards. Now, these companies at one time, in 1994, what did I say? We had 10 million telephones for 1,000 million people, one phone for 100 crores. What was the cost? A year's per capita income. What is it now? Our population is 130 crores, and we have got 117 mobile telephones, not mere telephones for voice, but they are smart telephones. What do they contain? Everything that is required for humanity to communicate with one another. It has cameras, it has got mail, it has got maps, it has got a clock, it has got everything that we want with the camera, etc. Therefore, with the smart telephones and a worldwide network, the private companies in India in the year 2010, in the month of September, just imagine 1 month, they gave 1 crore 70 lakh telephones. In 1 month, 12 companies competing with one another. And what is the current telephone usage income for the telephone companies? It is 1800 rupees per year compared to 1,35,000 rupees of per capita income. That means telephone has become 1 by 75 times cheaper. And that is why even the beggars in Tirumala, Tirupati, Devasthanam, they are also sporting the public digital telephone. Every Indian who can hold the device in his palm or carry it in his pocket is able to communicate from any place at any time with anybody in the world. Now, so these great people, it's a political process only can result in liberalization. And today, what is it that liberalization has led to? What was one of our aims? Communicate for work, commute for pleasure. 95% of the 60 lakh IT professionals working in the IT companies of India are working from home. The revenues of our IT companies have increased by 10%, and so also their profits. Working from home. They have saved on commutation time. They have saved on the pollution that happens because if you use your vehicles. Now, it's not only working from home, learning from home. Classes, teachers are sitting in their homes and are delivering the lessons, and boys from the age of 7 years, 8 years onwards, with a smart telephone in their palm, they are receiving the lessons. Education and distance. And all this has become possible because of what I call the postalization of the telephone charges. For post, whether you deliver it, it is intended for your next door or from here to Assam, the charge is the same. Same thing with the telecommunications today. In India, for the last 3 years, you make a call to your neighbor or call to Delhi, the price is the same. So postalization, ubiquitous possession of a smart telephone by even the poorest of the poor people. Take courts. This is the outcome of our digitalization. In these times, the COVID-19 times, with the lockdowns and the fear of communicating disease from one to another, people are working from home, so are the courts. The Supreme Court, the High Court, and other courts, they are holding all the trials, all the hearings by sitting in their homes, and the lawyers and the people who are wanting justice sitting in their homes. So justice is being delivered through digitalized telecommunication network. Another great revolution. Previously, if you had to pay, you had to send money orders. Money orders are to be physically delivered. Today, money can be transferred. The other day, the Prime Minister transferred some thousands of crores of rupees into about 8 crores of farmers into their accounts. Similarly, state governments are transferring their welfare money into the accounts of the Dhanjan account people. So nobody moving from house to the bank, standing in a queue, etc. So such revolutionary changes are affecting the way that we work, the way that we learn, the way that we socialize. There's so many social platforms like WhatsApp, up to YouTube. Every person can express his opinion and try to influence the thinking and the policy of the policy makers of the governments. This is the greatest revolution. Every calamity has also a silver lining. What is that silver lining in the COVID-19 calamity? Accelerating the digitalization, accelerating the process of working by communication and no commutation at all. What is necessary is for the poor people, their children to have to education, they have to spend so much time on the telecom network. Just as so many welfare measures are there, we have to have for the poor people so many minutes or hours of free communication time. It should be as a matter of right. With two more things, I will stop this one. That's what digitalization is doing. Now, we had elections in 4 or 5 states, rallies, and accelerated spread of COVID-19. It could be totally avoided. For the last 15 years, I have been writing and speaking that all electioneering must not be physical. It should be only through the TV network and the telephone network with both-way communication, every candidate talking, every party talking, and people asking them questions, interrogating. Just as debates happened for the presidential election in the United States, there should be no physical meetings at all. Now we are all registered as voters. Our photo is there, everything is there. Put them in the giant computer. And just as we are voting for the election of the president of the IET by sitting in the house, why can't we vote by sitting in the house for the general elections also? That must be accelerated. It is quite possible to do that one. And one more social event, which is very, very vulgar, is the celebration of the marriage in the rich people, with thousands of cars coming to one place and thousands of crores of rupees being spent upon a spectacular marriage performance. All the marriages, they could be like e-marriages, like e-commerce, e-banking, e-marriage. Celebrate the marriage in your own house with your friends and with about 20, 30 people. Uplink it and announce that link, just as we are announcing this meeting, and also a coupon to them on email, which will enable them to go to a certain hotel and have their meal also. So every human activity, including physical labor, can be substituted by intelligent robots endowed with artificial intelligence. This is already happening in advanced countries like Japan. In hotels, there are no ushers. Excepting for making the bed, every other job is done by intelligent robots. Intelligent robotics are based upon digital communications and digital storage of information. So friends, we are going through a rapid development of technologies which will increase the range of our intelligence and the range of our influence also. For all this, what is necessary is buddhi, buddhimatta, that is wisdom. The same technologies, digital technologies, are being used for destruction. For example, Israel is able to deactivate all the spinning U-35, U-38 separation mechanisms by introducing a worm in the process. Similarly, China can completely defeat India without sending a single soldier by its software, which will disable our electricity networks, telephone networks, railway networks, everything. So war from a distance, that is war action, terrific action, not by commutation, but by communication. So what is required? Ravana was endowed with great power, but no buddhi at all, no spirituality at all. Therefore, humankind must think that with all these new technologies, accelerating the digitalization, are we going to add to the sum total of happiness and peace in the world? Or are we going to, like the lemmings, which is swim and get themselves drowned when their population increases? Are we also going to do that one? It is here that the intelligentsia, especially engaged in the communications, have to think and influence, educate and influence the policymakers. I am very, very happy that I am able to be with you. And what is more important, Sri Ramsevak Sharma ji, who was the chairman of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India and also Secretary of the Department of Telecommunications, he is going to deliver an excellent, illuminating lecture. So once again, by saying that no names, but numbers, हाथ में टेलीफोन, घर गांव में internet, commute for pleasure, for work. With this message, I thank the IET Hyderabad Center for giving me this opportunity and having this talk, and so many people joining us without moving from their homes.
Sir, Hanuman
Thank you,
Chaudhary.
sir.
One.
Sir, Hanuman Chaudhary is a wonderful lecture from you, sir, as a chief guest. Sir, it's unfortunate that the Ram Sevak Sharmaji, who is supposed to be addressing today's webinar, is busy with Prime Minister, sir. He's in the Prime Minister meeting, not in a position to participate in the event. He says, my apologies. We contacted him day before yesterday and also yesterday, sir. And he said he's coming, but due to the Prime Minister's meeting, he could not, come and.
A higher task has taken him away from us. It's all right. We salute him.
Sir, we will just go ahead and read his profile, sir. And then if anybody wants to give any lecture for 10-15 minutes, fine, and then we can wind up, sir. If anybody, but we'll, do you want us to go ahead and read the profile of Ram Sevak Sharma, sir?
Good. It is good to know. No.
Okay, sir. Sangamkar, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Sitaram Babu, please go ahead, sir.
Kirtilata.
Yeah. I request Kirtilata to read today's guest lecture, Sri Dr. Ram Sevak Sharma's profile.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Namaskar.
Namaskaram, sir. Sir, I'm Kirtilata, Assistant Professor working in Stanley Engineering College. It's my privilege to read Dr. Ram Sevak Sharma profile. Dr. Ram Sevak Sharma is a Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Authority under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare that implements Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, the largest health insurance scheme in the world, and the National Digital Health Mission, two flagship health missions of the Government of India. He is also the chairman of Empowered Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19 and the member of National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19. Dr. Sharma is the former member of the Indian Administrative Service IAS 1978 Jharkhand cadre. Before his appointment as a CEO of National Health Authority from 1st February 2021, he served as the chairman of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India from August 2015 to September 2020. Prior to this assignment, he served as the Secretary of the Department of Electronics and Information Technology under the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, Government of India, and the Chief Secretary of Jharkhand. Dr. Sharma was founding DG and Mission Director of UIDAI and was a part of leadership team that built and launched Aadhaar, the world's largest digital identity platform. He has captured the experience of building Aadhaar in his recently published book, Making of Aadhaar, World's Largest Identity Platform. Dr. Sharma has the deep interest in using technology for governance and has led a number of governance projects at the state and central level. His contribution in this area have been recognized both in India and outside. Dr. Sharma is an alumni of the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, where he earned a master's in mathematics, and the University of Allahabad, from where he completed his bachelor's in science. While on leave from the Government of India, he earned a master's in computer science from University of California, Riverside in 2002, and subsequently a PhD from Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, 2018. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
With this, I
Kirtilata.
hand over-
Thank you, Kirtilata, for introducing our guest speaker, but unfortunately, he could not join because of his other busy schedule.
Yes, sir.
Now, I request.
Comments. It will be great if exchange. Comments, questions, and answers we can have.
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, now, IET Hyderabad chairman, I request IET Hyderabad chairman Ganeshwar Rao Garu. Sir, anything you would like to say, sir?
Yeah, no, will you go for it, sir? This is to inform to all the August gathering and Hanuman Chaudhary, sir, that we are bi-monthly when releasing our IET Hyderabad Center's newsletter, sir, which covers all the activities what all we are doing at our center. So that we would like to inaugurate bi-monthly newsletter right now, sir, with your hands.
Yes, it's
Please,
a great pleasure. Unless we are able to communicate among ourselves,
Sir.
whom else will we communicate? Therefore, an internal newspaper is very, what are called
Yes.
house journals are very necessary.
Yes.
When I was in Ahmedabad as a general manager, I used to run a journal called Phone Awaz. Phone Awaz.
Oh, no.
When I was in Pune in Maharashtra, I ran it Phone Sandesh. And here in Andhra Pradesh, when I was the general manager, Durvani Sandesh
Yeah.
for the public. And in every district, a Narada. Who is
Carry
the
the information.
Good name.
international or communicator.
Yes.
So it is very necessary that communications, internal communications, are there, and for that a journal.
Yes.
And public relations journal, there is one, its chairman, the late Narasimha Reddy, was a pioneer in this one. That is, if you are in the business of communication, if you can't communicate among your colleagues, with whom else will you?
Yeah.
That was the question. Thank you. I had great pleasure
Now,
in these issues.
yes. We'll go for the release of.
We'll go for the release of this today's
Somebody
IET
will
bi-monthly
display them.
newsletter. Yes, sir. It is displayed, sir, on the screen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You can read the headlines of the first page of those issues.
Yes.
First page of those
Yeah.
issues, headlines, you
Yes.
may just read out.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Dear members, it gives me an enormous pleasure to present this fifth issue of IET bi-monthly newsletter. With all your support and guidance, IET Hyderabad Center continues to serve the electronics and computer science students, faculty, and members with the motto of advancement in science and technology. You all know that IET was founded in 1953 with its headquarters in Delhi, has 63 centers across India, and serves more than 125,000 members. The institution provides the leadership and scientific and, please scroll, please. Yeah. Yes. Scientific and technical areas of direct importance to national development and economy. IET has been recognized by Government of India as a scientific and industrial research organization, CIRO, and has also notified as an educational institution of national eminence. IET Hyderabad Center, the second largest center among the other centers in India, is doing its best. Though the pandemic has become the big obstruction for conducting our regular events physically at our center. We have conducted the Women's Day celebrations physically in the IET Hyderabad Center on 14th March 2021. Srimati Geeta Vardhan, former Director Adrin and Program Director HISTRO Headquarters, was the chief guest. And Dr. Sandhya V. Kode, Founder Director Enhance Edu, IIIT Hyderabad, delivered the keynote lecture on the topic Empowering Yourself and Transforming Your Life. On this day, essay writing competition was held for the students from various engineering colleges. Further, prizes and participation certificates has been issued to students participants. We have also conducted physically a 3-day boot camp at RCA DRDO, Hyderabad, for scientists on Internet of Things from 9th to 11th March 2021. The program was very well received and appreciated by the RCA DRDO. We are requesting other similar organizations to give us the opportunity to conduct such programs. On 13th April 2021, we have conducted IET Student Forum Coordinators Meet at our campus physically. The main agenda of the program was to strengthen the IET student forums at various engineering colleges and conducting workshops, short-term courses, and mini and major projects and other events in collaboration with IET Hyderabad Center. The program was attended by HODs, faculty, and ISF coordinators from various engineering colleges, and it was a grand success. Happy to mention that our regular Sunday weekly webinars of knowledge sharing sessions is going on very well without any break. And it has reached about 40, we have completed about 46, sir. I'm very grateful to all the webinar speakers, chief guests, and all the participants for making this series a grand success. I request all the members, faculty, and students to make use of the events, and let's go together by giving your valuable suggestions in conducting more such professional and enrichment programs. Thank you all, and stay safe and stay home. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gyaneshwara Garu. Now, as the chief guest has told, commute for pleasure and communicate for work.
Yes.
I understand that today communication has become not only for work and for pleasure also. And today this session is open for interacting with our distinguished guest, so that you can cherish these memories for lifelong. So the session is open for interaction now with our chief guest.
My talk in English over All India Radio will be broadcast this night
Sir.
at 7:15 p.m.
I see, sir.
FM Rainbow, and in the medium wave at 9 p.m.
Okay, sir.
tonight from All India Radio.
I see.
If there
Thank you.
are radios in your homes, most people
Yeah,
don't
we have. The mobile itself can provide that connectivity on FM, sir.
That is right.
So now the session is open for interaction. Narasimhan, thank you for joining.
నమస్కారం సార్, పద్మశ్రీ డాక్టర్ టి హనుమాన్ చౌదరి గారికి నమస్కారాలు. మీ లెక్చర్ ద్వారా మళ్ళీ మాకు కమ్యూనికేషన్ సిస్టమ్స్ యొక్క ఇంపార్టెన్స్ మళ్ళీ తెలియజేశారు. చాలా చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు. ఈరోజు ఉదయం హైదరాబాద్ ఏఎస్ మీటర్ మీద నేను మీ లెక్చర్ వినడం జరిగింది సార్, తెలుగులో. చాలా అద్భుతంగా ఉంది. మీకు చాలా చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు. ఐఐటి హైదరాబాద్ సెంటర్ కమిటీ మెంబర్స్ అందరికీ కూడా నా ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తున్నాను.
ఏమన్నారు మీ పేరు?
సార్,
Your name.
నా పేరు కేవీఎన్ఎస్ విపిఎల్ నరసింహం సార్. డాక్టర్ కేవీఎన్ఎస్ విపిఎల్ నరసింహం. చాలా బాగుంది సార్ మీ లెక్చర్, చాలా ఇన్ఫర్మేటివ్ అండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్. నమస్కారం అండి.
నమస్కారం.
He is a technical program committee member also, sir. Subcommittee member. And he was very active in IIT Hyderabad Center earlier.
Sir, senior members like Bade Gyaneshwar Garu, Dr. Ajali Daniel Garu, please ask some questions, sir, so that members also can gain knowledge out of your questions, the answers given by Dr. Hanuman Chaudhary, sir.
Welcome your comments about electioneering,
Sir.
e-elections, e-voting, e-electioneering and e-voting,
Sir.
and even e-marriages.
Yes, sir.
సార్ హనుమాన్ చౌదరి గారి నమస్కారం. సార్ నేను కృష్ణ రావుని, మీ స్టూడెంట్ లాగా. హలో సార్. సార్ హనుమాన్ చౌదరి గారు సార్
చెప్పండి, అడగండి.
Sir, Kishan Rao Garu.
అదే కాదు, ఆయన ఆల్వేస్ యూస్ టు ట్రీట్ హిమ్ యాజ్ మై టీచర్,
Sir.
బికాజ్ మా గురువు గారి క్లాస్మేట్ ఆయన.
మీ గురుగారు
నేను కృష్ణ రావుని సార్, ఆర్ఎస్సీ ప్రిన్సిపాల్ గా రిటైర్ అయ్యాను. ఆర్ఎస్సీ ప్రిన్సిపాల్ ఉన్నప్పుడు మేము చాలా సార్లు పిలిచేవాడిని మిమ్మల్ని.
అవునవునవును.
మర్చిపోయాను కిషన్ రావుని.
Sir, Kishan Rao member, sir, IIT. He always gives suggestions for our executive committee member. He regularly
ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ కౌన్సిల్ మెంబర్. చాలా బాగుంది సార్ లెక్చర్, అంతా మొత్తం ఏ టు జెడ్ అంతా మొత్తం కవర్ చేసేసారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
డిజిటల్ కంప్రెషన్.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I have one comment, sir. Yesterday we had a webinar. In that, again, the discussion was on communication only, 5G and further to 6G. We don't know where it is going to stop. And the latency, the data latency and communication, the delays are going to be reduced to in the order of 1 millisecond or 2 milliseconds, it seems. And today we heard that yesterday's news that China has launched their rover on the Mars. And almost when they issue the command, it takes 15 minutes to reach that command there. Perhaps this is going to revolutionize. And how do you see this? Whether it is going to happen that in 1 millisecond and all this thing will be in real time, we'll be able to control this. Whatever gadgets have been sent to the Mars or other planets.
The light speed is the limiting speed, 300,000 kilometers per second.
Yes, sir.
More than that you cannot have. That is why we measure interstellar distance in light years. In light years.
Yes.
That is a 300,000 kilometers per second. In 1 year, how much distance? And the nearest star to us, Sirius, is 5 light years away. Therefore, can we travel between, and in this universe, is there a limit to this universe? Not. It is not, nobody can say that one. Right? So, the farther we see with instruments, the farther appears to be the universe. But can you go? It is conceivable that there are so many planets in the universe which are just like Earth, where Telugu is spoken or English is also spoken. How can you reach them? No, not in this body. But Parakaya Kalpa Pravesha. Parakaya Pravesha. You know, our ancient literature, Mahabharata, etc., they speak of Parakaya Pravesha. You give up this ghost and you go on thought. Thought is instantaneous. Thought is faster than light velocity. We are imagining the edge of the cosmos. And whatever planet we are encountering, and we land there and then come back into your original form. That is Parakaya Pravesha. Who did that? Our yogis did that. Our yogis, how was Narada traveling from one place to another place? He was not physically traveling. He was Pravesha, Parakaya Pravesha. Kaya means body, Para means other people's body, other body, enter into other body. So these are in the realm of thought. But thought is the father of birth. Thought will give birth to action and forms. So let us hope. But what is most important is, with all this knowledge, what did Bhasmasura? He gained every knowledge, every power. And he became a Lokakantaka, that is tormentor of the world. So people went there, all the devas, all the people, and went to Vishnu and said, can you save us? Because you have given all the powers to that bloody Bhasmasura fellow. So you know what we call Bhasmasura husband? With our artificial intelligence and robotics, buddhi leni vidyato, are we going to become Bhasmasuras? This is the most fundamental question. Today our country is in very, very bad shape because there is no morality. Buddhi leni vidya, China vidya, ante Chaitanya Narayana, China. ఆ చైనా విద్య పరీక్షల్లో మార్కులు సంపాదించడం నేర్పుతుందే కానీ ఆలోచన నేర్పదు. మెమరీస్ పోతుంది. ఎట్రఫీ అంటాం. ఎట్రఫీ అంటే ఏంటి? చైన్ కనుక ఉపయోగించకపోయినట్లయితే అది పనిచేయదు అనమాట అండి. అదేవిధంగా మన మస్తిష్కం, మన ఆలోచన శక్తి, విమర్శన శక్తి, విశ్లేషణ శక్తి పెరగకపోయినట్లయితే అవి కూడా ఎట్రఫీ అయిపోయి మనం రోబోట్స్కి దాసులం అయిపోతాం. ఫ్రాంకెన్స్టీన్ అనే నావెల్ని 1838లో 15 ఏళ్ల పిల్ల రాసింది. ఫ్రాంకెన్స్టీన్ ఇప్పుడు 100 సంవత్సరాల ముందు రాసింది. అందులో ఏం రాసింది? ఒక మెషిన్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ మెషిన్కి నేర్పుతారు ఆలోచన గీలోచన. చివరికి ఆ మెషిన్ ఆ మనిషిని చంపేస్తుంది అనమాట. ఆర్ యు హెడింగ్ టు దట్? వీ విల్ నాట్ డూ దట్ వన్ ప్రొవైడెడ్ స్పిరిచువాలిటీ, ఆధ్యాత్మికత, దట్ ఈస్ మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఈ విద్య యొక్క ప్రయోజనం ఏమిటి? భస్మాసురుడు అవటమా, రావణాసురుడు అవటమా, లేకపోతే బుద్ధుడు అవటమా, ధర్మరాజు అవటమా, రాముడు అవటమా? ఇది నేర్పాలి పిల్లలకి, దగ్గర నుంచి చెప్పాలి. వేమన శతకంలో, సుమతి శతకంలో, దాశరథి శతకంలో, భర్తృహరి సుభాషితాల్లో లేని విద్య, బుద్ధి మరెక్కడ కూడా లేదనమాట. ఉదాహరణకి, కనకపు సింహాసనమున సునకము కూర్చుండబెట్టి శుభలగ్నం నందొనరగా పట్టము గట్టిన డెమోక్రసీయే గురుగాక. వెనుకటి గుణవేల మౌనం. అంతేనా? ఇప్పుడు చేసేటువంటి ఎమ్మెల్యేలు, ఎంపీలు, మినిస్టర్లు అంతా కూడాను కనక సింహాసనం శుభలగ్నంలో ప్రమాణ స్వీకారం చేసి, కానీ వెనకటి గుణం ఏంటి? అది మానటం లేదనమాట. చూసి ఎంత అద్భుతంగా ఉందో. అందుకని మనం శతకంలో ఉన్నటువంటి నీతిని కనుక నేర్చుకున్నట్లయితే, అది చెప్పడం లేదు కదా, శ్రీరాముని ఏంటి తలసి నోరూరుగా చౌల బుట్ట నీతులు నేర్పేదా అని పద్యంతో మొదలుపెట్టేవాళ్ళం కదా. నీతి ఈజ్ మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. నీతి ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఆర్ దేర్ టీచర్స్ నౌ? దేర్ నో టీచర్, దేర్ ఆర్ ట్యూటర్స్. గురువులు కాదు వారు, జీతగాళ్ళు. డెమోక్రటిక్ టీచర్స్ ఫెడరేషనా? అంటే దానికి వ్యతిరేకంగా ఫ్యాసిస్ట్ టీచర్స్ ఫెడరేషన్ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు అనమాట. సో వాడు ఏం చెప్తాడనమాట అండి. అందుకని మన విద్య ఈ 70 సంవత్సరాలలో కూడా విద్యగా బుద్ధి లేనటువంటి విద్య అయిపోయిందండి. ఇటువంటి నేరాలు చేస్తున్నారు మనం గమనిస్తున్నాగా. ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఈ కోవిడ్ టైమ్స్లో ఈ మన ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ టెక్నాలజీని ఉపయోగించి డబ్బులు కొట్టేస్తున్నారు బ్యాంకుల డబ్బుల నుంచి.
అవును, ఈవెన్ బెడ్స్ కూడా వాళ్ళే బ్లాక్ చేస్తున్నారు హాస్పిటల్.
జరుగుతున్నాయి అంటే బుద్ధి లేని విద్య మూలం. చెన్నైసూరి గారు నీచంద్రికలో విత్తము కడనయందొక దుఃఖము, కాముదల ఎందొక దుఃఖము, వినాశమునందొక దుఃఖము, ఇట్లు దుఃఖైక మూలమైన విత్తము కడవ నేల, అడుసు త్రొక్క నేల, కాలు కడుగ నేల. ఎంత అద్భుతం. బలవంతుడు నాకేమని పలువురతో నిగ్రహించి పలుకుట మేల, బలవంతమైన సర్పం చలిచీయమలచే చావదే సుమతి. అమెరికా వాడు వియట్నాం మీద 7 ఏళ్ళు యుద్ధం చేసి తోక ముసుగు పారిపోయాడు కదా. సోవియట్ యూనియన్ ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్లో గడ్డల మీద ఎక్కే మనుషులు. అటువంటి దేశంతో 7 సంవత్సరాలు యుద్ధం చేసి ఆ సూపర్ పవర్ కూడా పారిపోయింది కదా. మళ్ళా తిరిగి అమెరికా బుద్ధి నేర్చుకోకుండా ఇరాన్లో, ఇరాక్లో, ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్లో మళ్ళా తోక ముసుగు పోతున్నారు కదా. బలవంతుడు నాకేమని పలువురతో నిగ్రహించి పలుకొట మెలగుట మేలా, బలవంతమైన సర్పం అమెరికా, సోవియట్ యూనియన్, చలిచీమలతే వియట్నాం చలిచీమ, ఆఫ్ఘనిస్తాన్ చలిచీమలతో చిక్కి చావదేశమతి. ఎంత నీతులు ఉన్నాయో దాని గురించి ఆలోచించుకోవాలి. చిన్నప్పుడు మనకి చెప్పారు కాబట్టి మన జీవన ప్రవాహంలో కాలంలో మనం ఉద్యోగం చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఒక్కొక్క సమస్య అది ఎదురైనప్పుడు సుమతి చెప్తాను మహాభారతంలో ఉంది అని తెలుస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు అది చెప్పడం లేదు. సెక్యులరిజం అని చెప్పేసి సెక్యులరిజం, నెహ్రూయిజం, ఈ మన నీతి నియమాలు లేనటువంటి, బుద్ధి లేనటువంటి చదువు వల్ల ఈ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ టెక్నాలజీని ఉపయోగించుకుని భస్మాసురులాగా ప్రవర్తించకూడదు. 15 సంవత్సరాల నాడు ఒక పేపర్ మనం డిఫెన్స్ మినిస్ట్రీకి నేను పంపించాను. మాకు మిలిటరైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ స్పేస్, వెపనైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఎవరు చేస్తున్నారు? ఇది చైనా చేస్తుంది. చైనా చేసింది ఫస్ట్ వన్ విచ్ హస్ డన్ ది వెపనైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ అండ్ మిలిటరైజేషన్ ఆఫ్ స్పేస్ ఇచ్చేది. ఒక విషయం ఇందాక మీరు 1G, 2G, 3G, 5G అని చెప్పారు కదా. ఒకప్పుడు మిలిటరీ అంటే మేము ఓన్లీ 2G తెలుసండి. సోనియా గాంధీ, రాహుల్ గాంధీ ఆవిడ 2G అండి, 3G గాంధీ అండి, దాని తర్వాత మాకేం తెలియదండి అని చెప్పారు అనమాట. ఈ విషయంలో భారతదేశంలో టెలికమ్యూనికేషన్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఏలిన వారు క్రిమినల్స్. 1947 సంవత్సరంలో ఇండియన్ టెలిఫోన్ ఇండస్ట్రీ స్థాపించారు. కానీ ఇంతవరకు కూడా ఒక్క టెలిఫోన్ ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ ఇండియాలో డిజైన్ చేసిన రాలేదన్నమాట. ఇటలీ నుంచి కూడా మనం ఫాచే కంపెనీ దగ్గర నుంచి టెక్నాలజీని ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకుంది. సౌజర్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఇంగ్లాండ్ నుంచి, క్రాస్బార్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఫ్రాన్స్ నుంచి, ఇంకా ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ కూడా ఫ్రాన్స్ నుంచి, చైనా నుంచి. భారత సంచార నిగం చైనా యొక్క ZTE ఎక్విప్మెంట్ కొంటుంది. సిగ్గు లేదండి. 70 ఏళ్ళు మట్టి, 70 ఏళ్ళ నాడు స్థాపించిన ITIని పోషించకుండా, వన్ జనరేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ కూడా డిజైన్ చేయకుండా, ఇక్కడ హైదరాబాద్లో, బెంగళూరులో 60 ఫారిన్ కంపెనీస్ రీసెర్చ్ ల్యాబొరేటరీస్ ఉన్నాయి. దే ఆర్ క్రియేటింగ్ ది ఇంటలెక్చువల్ ప్రాపర్టీ. Intellectual property is created by Indians but owned by foreign companies. If Microsoft or Apple or Google or people, ఎంతమంది చీఫ్స్ అంతా కూడా ఇండియన్సే కదా. అందుకనే ప్రధానమంత్రి గారి రాష్ట్రం 70 ఏళ్ళు సెలబ్రేట్ చేద్దాం, ఒక మిషన్ పెట్టవయ్యా, 6Gని డెవలప్మెంట్ చేయమని ఒక మిషన్ పెట్టవయ్యా అని ప్రధానమంత్రి రాశారు అన్నమాట. ఆత్మనిర్భర ఎలా జరుగుతుంది? చైనా దగ్గర నుంచి ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకుంటామా? చైనా మనకన్నా వెనకాల ఉండేది. 1992 వరకు కూడా పర్ క్యాపిటల్ ఇన్కమ్ మనకన్నా తక్కువ, టెలిఫోన్ డెన్సిటీ మనకన్నా తక్కువ, కానీ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ నౌ బికమ్ ఎ సూపర్ పవర్ ఛాలెంజ్ అమెరికా. వై? పాపులేషన్ పాలసీ. At the stage of development, you can't afford 20-50 children. ఇప్పుడు పాలస్తీనాలో, ఇజ్రాయెల్లో, గాజాలో యుద్ధం జరుగుతోంది. పాలస్తీనియన్లు ఏమంటున్నారు? ఇఫ్ ఇజ్రాయెల్ హెస్ గాట్ ద బాంబ్, వీ హ్యావ్ గాట్ ద వూంబ్ అంటే పిల్లలు పుట్టిస్తారంటే వాళ్ళు. ఇజ్రాయెల్ మే హ్యావ్ ఏ బాంబ్ బట్ వీ హ్యావ్ గాట్ ఎ వూంబ్. వూంబ్లో నుంచి వస్తాయి ఏంటన్నట్టు. ఇక్కడ కూడా అదే జరుగుతుంది. అంతులేని ప్రతి సంవత్సరం కూడా 1,80,00,000 మంది జనాభా పెరుగుతున్నారు. 1,80,00,000 ఉద్యోగాలు ఉన్నాయా ఇండియాలో? లేవు. అందుకని వీళ్ళందరికీ కూడా మ్యాచ్ వేస్తున్నాం అన్నమాట అండి. వెల్ఫేర్ అని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళు బ్యాంక్ అకౌంట్లో డబ్బులు వేసి ఈ ఫీడ్ మేము అన్నం పెడతాం, యూ బ్రీడ్, పిల్లలు పెట్టండి, మీరు మాకు ఓటు వేయండి. ఇది నేను ఆల్ ఇండియా రేడియో మీద కానీ, వ్యాసాల్లో కానీ, స్పీచెస్లో కానీ, అరే భాయ్ పాపులేషన్ పాలసీ లేకుండా ఎంతమంది, 18 కోట్ల మందికి వ్యాక్సిన్లు 2-3 నెలల్లో వేసాం. అమెరికా జనాభా 30 కోట్లు, కేవలం 30 కోట్లు. Sorry if I have digressed. But
No, excellent.
technology is very, very important. Everybody must be informed, not only informed, critically informed, to be able to think for himself. My right to produce, your duty to feed. 80 కోట్ల మందికి మనం ఆనందంగా మా ఊరిని 8 వస్తువులని ఊరికి ఇచ్చేస్తున్నాం. దట్స్ కాల్డ్ పబ్లిక్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ సిస్టమ్. 80 కోట్ల మంది ఎక్కడ ఉన్నారు పబ్లిక్ జనాలు? అన్నం పెడతారా?
Good, sir. Good. You are not only given Sandesh, you are given Upadesh also.
Your children, where are they? They will go to America.
Yes.
So the ultimate destination of every intelligent Indian, appears to be America.
Yes, as of today, it's like that.
The American ambassador has said that in the 2 Telugu states, 1 family out of 5 has got a child in America. 1 family. And I was responsible for, we had 36 engineering colleges in 1997 when I became the IT advisor. When 2004, when we quit, it was 260 engineering colleges. Today, in Andhra, especially coastal areas and Rayalaseema and some districts here, there is no village which has got its child in America. How?
Correct.
How? Because of education. Which education? IT education. ఇది చంద్రబాబు గారికి నేను ఐటీ అడ్వైజర్గా ఉన్నప్పుడు కంప్యూటర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పెడదామంటే ఎందుకండి అన్నాడు. ఈ అమ్మ ఏమిటయ్యా నువ్వు చెప్తున్నావు? మన సెక్రటేరియట్ రోజు 7 కోట్ల లంచాలు తీసుకుంటున్నారు. 7 కోట్ల రూపాయల లంచాలు తీసుకుంటున్నారు సెక్రటేరియట్లో. మనకి సంవత్సరానికి 14 కోట్లు మాత్రమే అవుతుంది కంప్యూటర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పెడితే అన్నా అనమాట. వెంటనే పెట్టాడు. ఇది ఐటీ వాట్ ఇట్ కెన్ డూ అంటే భగవద్గీతలో 10th చాప్టర్లో విభూతి యోగంలో యద్ విభూతిమత్సత్వం శ్రీమదూర్జితమేవ తత్తదేయావగచ్చ మమ తేజో అంశ సంభవం. ప్రపంచంలో ఉన్న స్ప్లెండర్ అంతా ఎక్కడ ఉందంటే నాలోనే ఉన్నది, నా వల్లనే ఉన్నది. ఇప్పుడు ఐటీ ఈజ్ మేకింగ్ నాలెడ్జ్, ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ available to every person, but its processing and its use that can come only out of adhyatmikata, spirituality. Einstein said, science without spirituality is lame. Spirituality without science is blind. Undu undali, science undali, spirituality undali. Every Nobel Prize winning scientist is theosophically and a spiritually advanced person. Is spiritually advanced person. Science without spirituality is blind. Spirituality without science is lame. This is what Einstein said. రెండు ఉండాలి.
In fact, we had planned one lecture in the month of this April by Vasudeva Murthy, ex-scientist of DRDL. He wanted to relate the science and the spirituality. He wanted to give the lecture, but he said the participants should be physically present, then only it will be effective. We could not do, sir. Perhaps soon we'll be able to do that. And in fact, we can have one lecture from you also, that merging of science and spirituality.
It will be a pleasure.
Yes.
Why not? It will be very, very pleasure. I would like to have one question from
Yes,
our Honorable Dr. T. Hanuman Chaudhary, sir. Sir,
Please go
I
ahead,
am
sir.
doing parallel session now as a part of my role for governing council member. I am doing it there, but I concentrated more on your scientific philosophy related with spirituality is the key for our Indians. And what we Indians, Vedas are the testimony, sir, that we Indians, whatever we had vision, technology accordingly had translated and formed a so-called telecommunication and information society now. And you are there at your home, sir. We all, Hyderabad IET Center, we are at our homes, but we are connected. So that is how telecommunication IT Connect is there. I feel, sir, the simple fiction story novel on satellite has translated the reality, and satellite communications India has led through ISRO. And vision is, I feel, sir, can we have satellite broadband services made available to our Indian continent, subcontinent, and we can have a seamless connectivity and all the devices connected with that. Can we have, sir?
Yes, that is what Elon Musk is doing. Elon Musk, you must have heard his name. He is going to put tens of thousands of satellites, tens of
Sir.
thousands of satellites in near orbits, and he is going to give you broadband with a gigabit connectivity. Yes. It's already in the not drawing boards, it's experimentally. It's already launched thousands and tens of thousands satellites will be there. So it will, that's why. Sarvatra. That means Tra means space, in every space. Sarvavasthalendu, in every situation. Sarvada, da is time. Sarvada, sarvatra, communication will be there. Ronald Reagan said about the terrorists, you may run, but you can't escape. You may run, but you can't escape. I can see you. I can see you. I will send a drone. That's what Israel does. It sends a drone and it comes and strikes in your nose or your mouth. They kill people like that by the smell of the person which has been electronified, digitified, and fed into the drone. And that drone put the missile exactly upon that bugger in Jordan. So that is the small nation called Israel, which is now battling with Gaza, in Gaza. It is a storehouse. It is what is called, it is called a startup nation. It is a nation which was started in 1948, restarted, isn't it? And the largest number of Nobel Prizes per thousand of population is Israelis. And you know what is the Iron Dome now? The Iron Dome is finishing the missiles that those fellows, Gaza fellows are fighting. 90% of them are destroyed in space. In Mahabharata war, we have seen the heroes sending missile and the two missiles towering in space. Is it not?
True, sir. Very, very true.
So, imagination can run faster than possibility. But imagination makes your thoughts reality. Science makes your imagination into a reality. And most scientists have said, I have found it by intuition. Intuition, not necessarily by experiment. I have done so many experiments, but I did not understand. But by intuition. Because the apple fell, it was falling all the while. it would live like the Newton to say.
Sir, really.
That was intuition. That is what Bharatiyas have excelled. Our rishis of the Vedic times, they found that they Tattvamasi, I am that. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat etkinch. Maya tatam avyakta muktina. The Godhead, the power, avyakta, unmanifest form is everywhere. Everywhere. Ishavasya sarvam etkincha jagatyam jagat. Ishavasya. This is the abode of Isha. Everywhere. But in avyakta form. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyakam. Enduku paritranaya sadhunam. Not only that, vinashaya cha duskrutam dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami.
Yuge.
That is the wisdom, that is the knowledge that our rishis are giving to us.
Nice, sir. Thank you.
I was a
for
communist.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Good.
Very good evening to all the dignitaries. And sir, can I have a
Question
small
or something for you, sir?
just
Yeah, please introduce yourself and ask.
sir,
the question.
Sir,
Yes,
from here, so this is Chandika Mohan Babu from Bharat Institute of Engineering Technology, Hyderabad. Sir, actually, in our program, our students also joined to listen your speech as well as the another speaker, but we could not hear the second speaker session. But we have been listening to your words, and we are enlightened by your words, sir. So my question towards to you is, sir, present generation students, as we are teacher, we are trying to use the new technologies in terms of ICT as well as this Google platform or Zoom. The problem which we are facing as a teacher towards the students, we are connecting the students through these technologies in terms of reliably, but we are not able to inculcate what you have inculcated to your students, because our students are not able to focus on these platforms. That means whatever the communication we are giving to the students, that it is not reaching to the level what they are expecting. So present situation, the students are having a capable of only 15-20 minutes constant listening.
15 minutes? They can't listen. You look
Yes.
at the TV.
So
You have
that is
got
what
handheld.
that is the problem, that is the challenge which we are facing out. Our students are the entire China China product which we are having right now, they're
China
not
product.
able to listen or sincerely towards any lecture more than 30 minutes.
Right.
So is this technology is right or wrong towards the student inculcating the knowledge? Please brief on it, sir. Any suggestions how to mold them from your experience?
In Telugu, there is a thing. You can bend a thing when it is a lata, but when it is a komma, you cannot bend it. That means only when the child is there, you can inculcate, you can infuse intelligence and inquisitiveness into a child. That is why a guru is required. A guru is required until you are 15 years. This teaching, learning online for the 15 year below is wrong, because your inquisitiveness must be developed. How do you develop that inquisitiveness? By guru-shishya interaction. Pranipatena, pariprasnena, sevaya, upadechanti te jnanam, jnanina, sattvadarshinaha. That's what the Bhagavad Gita says. Pranipata, by surrender. The shishya surrender into the guru. Pariprasnena, by asking questions. Sevaya, by doing sushrusha to your guru. Jnanam. Jnana will come only that way. For example, in the Shweta Swaropa Upanishad, Satyakama goes to the teacher, and the teacher says, "Whose son are you?" He asks. He does not know. He went to the mother. Mother, My teacher is asking whose son I am. You know what she said? I was a maid servant. So many people used me, so I do not know who your father is. So Satyakama went to the Guru and said, "Sir, this is what my mother told me. You deserve to be taken as a Shishya. You deserve to be taken as a Shishya. You did not hide anything." And in another lesson, the Shishya is asking the teacher, how can we believe that something exists which we cannot see? Which we cannot see, but you say that exists. How is it possible? Oh, I see. He did not squelch his question. He said, bring a Nyagrodha seed. You know, Nyagrodha ante Telugulo Marri antaru. That red small bead like heard Nyagrodha, Marri chettu, Telugu. So, what is this? This is Nyagrodha seed. Break it into two. Throw out the half. Okay, can you see? Yes. Cut it. I can't see. After some time, he says, I can't see. Arey, abhi tak raha. How can you? Therefore, now the student has understood, even if you can't see, something exists. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na abhavo vidyate sataha. Bhagavad Gita says, that which exists cannot unexist. That which cannot unexist cannot exist. Einstein's E is equal to mc square. Matter becomes energy, energy can become matter. It is indestructible. It can change form. Where is this insight? In the Bhagavad Gita, in the Vedas. So we have to create that interest in the student. But now neither the teacher is a teacher, nor the student is a student. When once the government gives fee reimbursement, the private college managements are prospecting for students. They are sending canvassers to homes. हम ये कर देगा, ये देगा, वो देगा, तुम बच्चे को भेजो. So this is not education. But India has got the largest number of intelligent fellows. Our IITs, IIMs, 70% of those products are not in India. You know this fact? 70% of our IIT and IIM, on whom we spend a lot of money, they are in America. Why? That's why I tell people the ultimate destination of intelligent Indians seems to be America. Why has this happened? Because Matru Bhakti, Pitru Bhakti, Desha Bhakti are not inculcated. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Parama. That is the respect that we have given to Guru. Is that there now? So how does it come? I have been educated. I am born in a village, farmer's son, one of the 7 children of my father. I used to walk from my village to the high school and come back at 5 kilometers every day, for 6 kilometers up and down. But I had a teacher. He was a Brahmin. In those days, 95% of the teachers were Brahmins, because Brahmins have no prosperity, no property. Their only property is brain. So they were dedicated to teaching, to Vidya. So those people inculcated inquisitiveness in us. My teacher particularly, out of the 40 minutes, 20 minutes he used to teach the subject, 20 minutes he said, I will sculpt you. I will make you a brilliant man. What is a guru? He is a sculptor. What does a sculptor do? He takes stone which is shapeless and then produces a Krishna out of it, a Sita out of it, a Ravana out of it, isn't it? So sculptor, a teacher must be a sculptor who takes a raw material of a child and then molds it into a beautiful, inquisitive Pandit. That was the objective of the Brahmin teachers. But once the Brahmins have become barbers, when they have become businessmen, all things is gone.
Excellent, sir. Sir, with your permission, sir, If possible, can I have a session with you, sir? Actually, we need your resource to impart our students, sir. Can I have a session one day?
What is your name, please?
Sir, it's Chandrika Mohan Babu, sir, from Bharat Institute of Engineering Technology.
Oh, Bharat. Look at
Yes,
these
sir.
books. This is why I'm reading. Kushwant Singh, how the Sikhs lost their kingdom. Invaders, infidels. Cultural terrorism. What variety of books? What is this book? Scientist greater than Einstein.
Okay.
This is the variety. I have got 7,000 books in my library. 4
Wow.
rooms are full. I live in only 1 room.
Sir, please, sir, please. It's a humble request, sir. We need your resource person, sir, because I want to change the behavior of the students' fraternity right now. What is happening with the young generation?
It will
So
be a pleasure. It will be a pleasure.
definitely, sir. I'll meet. I'll talk to the chairman, sir, of IET and secretary, sir, to get appointment from you. Thank you, sir.
Ramayana and Mahabharata are for your personality development.
Definitely, sir.
Every story is for your personality development. Whereas you have your artificial, useless personality development fellows talking glib talk.
Okay.
Personality development starts from the mother's womb. Prahlada became a bhakta. How? When he was in the womb of Mother Leelavati. How did Abhimanyu become a hero? When Subhadra was conceived and Krishna was telling him how to enter a Padma Vyuha, he knew that, but he woke up and no story was there how to get out. So learning starts from the time of conception. That's why we take an Indian mother to a number of samskaras during conception. We ask her to listen to good music, good stories. Why? The education starts from that, from the womb to the tomb. And who? Jignasa. Jignasa means inquisitiveness. Who inculcates? The guru inculcates. The mother inculcates. And the father is busy earning money to sustain you and me and others. Mother and the guru.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us. A special thanks and request to all the IET members, especially Sangameshwar sir, Sitaram Babu sir, Nalla Namashwar sir, Ganeshwar sir. Thank you for giving us opportunity on this special occasion, introducing the very, very enlightening person to us. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome, sir. Self-improvement is the biggest room. Though our distinguished speaker said he stays in one room, but he keeps on improving all the time by reading so many books and enlightening himself with the spiritual knowledge and all those things. That is the self-improvement. That is the biggest room. One need not have bigger than that. So with this, I think we are coming almost to the closure of the today's session. I request Sitaram Babuji, Vice Chairman, Hyderabad Center, Hyderabad IET Center, to give his vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Sangamkar sir. It was a wonderful session, to be very honest with you. Though we could not have Ram Sevak Sharma sir in this session, but
I am Ram Sevak. Hanuman is Ram Sevak.
Sir, we actually went beyond that, sir. Our knowledge now actually is much more. Sir, go ahead,
Super, sir. Ram
Go ahead,
Sevak of
sir.
Hanuman.
Sir. So it was a wonderful session, sir. To be very honest with you, I'm actually associated with Hanuman Chaudhary Garu for a very, very long time. I've been visiting him with various platforms. I've listened to his lectures on many occasions, umpteen occasions. He not only has huge theoretical knowledge, but also has the practical knowledge to correlate. I mean, what is all being saying about the theory and the practicality correlation. That's more important. And I think probably the Chandrika Mohan Babu Garu of the Bharat Engineering College might have also been impressed with it. I think, sir, it's a wonderful session, sir, to be very honest. And we had a wonderful session. That there are a lot of important, prominent figures who are part of this. Let us acknowledge them, sir. One is yourself, sir, Hanuman Chaudhary Garu. And we thank you very much, sir. And we also come back to you, sir, for couple of sessions, sir, on the topics of your choice, sir. We'll have it sometime in probably at your convenient time, sir. I'll speak to you and take the convenient time, and let's more students, join in there. It would be more appropriate if you're going to have it physical session, sir. Let us see, sir, how we'll try to make the event. And Ram Sevak Sharma, sir, I think we should also understand his plight, sir, because of his huge, personality as such, the India level, since his commitment to India, growing India and making India more powerful, since he's busy with Prime Minister, I think we'll have to, leave him aside. But as such, we are enlightened, with your session, sir. And we also acknowledge Prabhakar sir, Gunashekhar Reddy sir, Niranjan Prasad sir. And we also have CSR, Murthy Garu, Dayanand, Abraham, who is past Governing Council member. We also have Geeta Vardhan, I think still still in the session. And we also have Kishan Rao sir, who also asked you a question. Narasimham sir, we have Mohan Chandika Babu, Sairam sir is also there, sir. We also have Daniel and Ganeshwar sir, and we also have Manchanda sir, who I think is there right from the inception of our meeting, sir. We all thank everyone, sir. Have a wonderful session. Again, we'll meet next Sunday, sir, for our regular Sunday event, sir. And we also acknowledge Mohan Raju, sir. And this session happened because of IET and CTMS. We thank both IET and CTMS. And anyone has anything, or we'll just go ahead and wind up the session, sir.
Yeah, and some more people have joined, sir, up late. I think Srinivas Rao from RCI also has joined.
Okay.
And Kirtilata is there, and Sandhya also was there. Actually, they were participating in all these sessions. So we all thank everyone who has joined. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, and all, sir. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a nice talk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, MS Rao garu.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Hanuman
Thank you.
Chaudhary.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good, madam. Geeta Vardhan joined.
Yes. Very good talk. Very good talk. It took us back in time.
Yes,
Very
madam.
nice.
Yes, sir.
Devraj, are you there?
Yes, sir. Shall I wind up?
Yeah, you can close the session.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.